No, well, I made a mistake of talking to my 20-year-old daughter about what I was going to do tonight and describing it to her, and she ended up saying, oh, so it's like stand-up comedy but not funny. So it's like, it's not really it. And I'm also telling a story that's not the story that I intended to tell. My original pitch was about an experience I had when I was 13 of, my first full-on crush on my best friend's older brother, and an episode of uncontrolled flatulence on my part. Then something happened in the couple of weeks after I pitched my story that was even more mortifying than farting in front of my best friend's older brother. So, jump right in. So I guess I just have to tell a different story because I just have to get this off my chest. I recently made the discovery that I'm a racist, that I have racism. It might just be in the early stages, but as that may be a shocking thing to hear, but I assure you it's even more shocking for me to say it. As a flaming liberal, card-holding member of ACLU, student of civil rights, social movement activist, when LeBron trotted out on stage with his I Can't Breathe shirt, he trotted out on the court, I immediately hopped on Amazon and got my shirt like before the game even started. So here's how I made my discovery. I work for a big nonprofit here in town, every day, spending every day doing good deeds and anti-poverty work. And at a meeting, a few of my coworkers were talking about the customers of the nonprofit that I work for in ways that just, a lot of those people and they are this and that, and it was so shocking to me I couldn't even sit in the meeting. I stood up abruptly, did not excuse myself, and just left. I couldn't believe it. What a bunch of jerks, like talking about people this way, and particularly for folks that work in the field, to have this sort of attitude, it was just really jarring to me. So I took off, and even the next morning was still cogitating and thinking about these terrible attitudes that my coworkers have. I was so disturbed, I guess I accidentally took a different route to work than I normally take. I realized it, and it's not a big deal because it's in Lewiston, and it's really not, I wasn't lost, I just went a different way. So I got to a stop sign and just take a right and drive the couple blocks to work. But as I'm taking the right, I'm, turning my car, I looked, and I out of the corner of my eye, I see these 3 young men, African men, and as I'm turning, they start flailing their arms at me and coming at my car, like stepped off the sidewalk, coming at my car, flailing, and I immediately hit the lock button on my doors, kind of put the gas on, and said to myself, and I may actually have just said it right out loud, no fucking way are you carjacking me today. I don't think so. And that didn't really, it didn't really register with me until about a block later, when on the other side of the road, this old white guy starts flailing too, doing the same thing, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What is up? And then I noticed he's flailing like this, and I looked up and I saw the one-way sign, and my car was going the opposite direction of the arrow. So, yeah. Oops. I got myself turned around and drove the couple blocks more to my job, and then sat in the parking lot for probably 20 or 30 minutes, unable to move. I'm thinking it was cognitive dissonance-induced paralysis is the only way I can describe it, and just thinking like, okay, so I have racism. Does that then develop into homophobia? And now, what else? I had that thought. what else is lurking up there? What other latent bias or bigotry is just waiting for an opportunity to unleash itself? And how long will it be before I'm one of those people who sees a panhandler on the street and screams out, "Get a fucking job!" So that's my story.